Hey, Fred Minnick here, and another down and dirty iPhone review. Going to be reviewing the George Dickel Column Still and Leopold Brothers Three Chamber Rye. This is a blend of rye whiskeys coming from Colorado's Leopold Brothers and Tennessee's George Dickel. Now, this isn't a historic blend for many reasons. One, the Three Chamber Still is historic. It is being brought back by the Leopold Brothers. I have a video of an interview with Todd Leopold in the description if you want to learn more about that. Also, there's some more information about the Three Chamber Still in the description. This is going to be mostly about the review. This is $110. This is a collaboration, of course. Honestly, there's not many collaborations between small distiller and big distiller like this. So, you know, I'm very fascinated and curious to see where this might go. You can see this is a beautiful, beautiful label. It's got the stories of both distillers on here, Todd Leopold and Nicole Austin. They're longtime friends. I'm friends with both of them. I've known both of them for my entire career. And it's exciting to see this. I'm excited for them. But there's something else to this that makes this very unique and special. I see, American whiskey tends to be just basically distillation of column stills. There has not historically been a lot of blending going on. Blending in a large way was a dirty word for a long time because in the 1800s, the Canadian blends started muscling out American whiskey on some shelves, and then after Prohibition, the rot gut stuff was always blended, and so the straight bourbon distillers in Kentucky and Pennsylvania, the rye distillers in Pennsylvania, would always look at blends as being a bad word. It's to the point that Jimmy Russell would, even well into the 2000s would say, blending is a dirty word. That's why distillers say everything from marrying, mingling, and basically bringing things together. They'll say everything that they can to avoid the word blend. That's why when you hear batching, when you could call it blending, so it's a fascinating psychology amongst distillers about blend. But now that we're seeing this, the actual blending of a three chamber pot still with a column still, in a lot of ways is similar to what they do in rum, where they will take a blend of pot and column. Now, it's different, obviously, because the three-chambered still is different, but they will, in rum, they do a lot of those blending of different stills. And in whiskey, it is not as common in American whiskey style. So that's why I'm excited about this, and it's also nice to see a couple of friends get together and do some good work together. But at the end of the day, you will always be judged by what is in the glass. So here we go. Oh man, that does smell good. It smells fruity, smells floral. I would estimate this has a high ester count to it. I suppose a little bit some bananas in there too. Don't really get bananas very often in rye, but hey. That is spicy. Boy, is that spicy. Really spicy. Goodness gracious. That is just lighting up the back of my tongue with all kinds of spices, all kinds of peppers. Just wow, really intense. This is an intense whiskey. I mean, if you're not familiar with how whiskey feels on the palate, you might think that spice is a burn, but of course, alcohol burn is very different than spice. An alcohol burn would be the equivalent of a 9-volt battery just pounding your tongue, hurting all the way down. Whereas spice is a tickling, and this is tickling the back of my palate really intensely. and it's quite fantastic. So it's really hard for me to define what spices these are, but there's a few of them, and I would put them more on the pepper side, not chipotle, not cayenne, not jalapeno, but, you know, I think a little bit more, you know, a little bit more concentrated. I have had ghost peppers in the past, and, you know, and I had a little bit in like a powder form before, and this kind of reminds me of that kind of heat where it's really intense, and then slowly kind of fades away. Now, I'm not needing a glass of milk or anything after this, so it's not like that. But this to me is an elevated pepper. This is one of those like high-end peppers that you would get in a really nice hot sauce. So I think that spice, I would need to spend some more time with it, and, you know, probably go through some of my past, like, you know, pepper tasting notes to, you know, jog my memory. But what's in this glass is not a usual spice that I would get. Then I would tell you that after that spice note, there's a lot of fruit. And when I mean fruit, I'm talking plum, I'm talking banana. This has a lot of really beautiful fruit in it. And then lastly, you know, this is in no way, shape, or form a you know, a surprise, but a piece of rye toast. And, you know, when a rye whiskey tastes like rye, or a piece of rye toast, I think that's a good thing. But a really great example of what a rye whiskey can taste like. But I will be straight up with you. If you don't like spice, if you don't like peppers, this is one to stay away from. But if you're like me and you love the spice, buy this all day long. This is absolutely delicious for the spice fan. And once again, it's the George Dickel collaboration with Leopold Brothers. It's on the market for what I saw to be $110. I think it's worth every penny. And while you will hear it's historic, you'll hear about the uniqueness. History and all that stuff, and whiskey does not matter if the whiskey's not good. And I want to see, when I see collaborations, I want to see and someone's calling me, so I'm just going to go ahead and say no to that. Yeah, welcome to the doing things on the iPhone. When I see a collaboration, I want to see the collaboration ameliorate the category. I want to see it kind of take things to the next level. And that's what they did here. That's what they did. So cheers to Nicole and Todd for what is an excellent collaboration. Probably the best collaboration I have seen in a long time. So cheers to you all, folks. Be safe out there. It smells so good. Cheers.